I'm doing my bit, it's getting a big laugh, and then I do that joke, and it gets a bigger laugh. And I came off stage like, did I make that up?
Right.
Because you know your act, you know
Right.
where the laugh meter goes with but that one went like this. Then I remembered that's Joe Rogan. Like,
wow.
I can't do it no more. I actually have that on tape, that night on tape.
And then Joe Rogan was like, man, first Carlos Mencia, now.
Right.
Do you ever go to any comedy clubs now?
No.
Yeah, you like
that's stealing. Anytime you see a successful comic sitting in a club, he's stealing.
Damn.
He rewriting somebody else's material. There's no ifs, ands,
He's sitting in there with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Recording his
One of them. You know what he said? Boom, mic. Yeah.
The part when you said,
yeah.
So you make sure that you stay out for many reasons. Then,
I'll go see my son.
Right.
If Junior's going, because I'll help him with Joe or Marlon. I'll show up, but I don't watch the comics that go on before me because one, I feel like they think I'm stealing.
Right.
And two, I don't want to steal.
Yeah. And then there's always something like, some people think like, man, you weren't thinking the same thing. That's why when somebody try to tell me an idea, I say, I don't want to hear it.
Right.
I don't want to hear it, man.
I've stolen jokes before.
Really?
Yeah.
Knowingly?
No. Here's the crime is not that you said somebody else's joke. The crime is when you know it's somebody else's joke and you keep saying it.
Yeah. Are we like, what? No.
Right.
Man.
Right. So Joe Rogan had this bit. I used to do this bit about like how people need to watch animals, right? Because like you want to know how to parent, watch the bird. The bird knock them out the nest. They don't give them no test flight, nothing. Just go on, be a bird. And then there was another thing about how sea turtles go in the water and come out. And then Joe Rogan had this joke about lions don't make love. It's just, and then he did them. And somehow I'm on stage and I'm doing my bit, it's getting a big laugh, and then I do that joke, and it gets a bigger laugh. And I came off stage like, did I make that up?
Right.
Because you know your act, you know where the laugh meter goes with but that one went like this. Then I remembered that's Joe Rogan. Like,
wow.
I can't do it no more. I actually have that on tape, that night on tape.
And then Joe Rogan was like, man, first Carlos Mencia, now.
Right. But credit to Joe Rogan, he's a funny dude. But that's why I say I don't watch comics.
Right. So you don't even get it. There's no inspiration. There's nothing. It's just like, man, nah.
No,
it's
it
like
gets into your subconscious mind. Like I said, the crime is not if you did somebody else's act. The crime is once you know that's somebody else's, and then you keep doing it. Now you a thief.
Really though, you didn't think like, man, like I probably should just keep this one.
No, I loved that moment. How funny it was, but it's not mine. I feel dirty. It's like wearing a hairpiece. And people keep complimenting your hair. Hey man, that looks good. It's not mine.
I can't live this lie anymore. They don't love me. They love this. Being known for something. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you got some beautiful waves.
You changed ever since.
Yeah, man. Oh, man, that's real. But that's a great take on it, man, because you'll see other comedians that's been upset. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's been like even with Katt, when Katt said it, man, I hit Cedric in his stomach and just move him all around. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because but it is a real thing, though.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you stole? And you knew I'm stealing this.
A hairbrush
From
my friend Jaime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did Jaime know you stole his brush?
Yeah,
Right.
I've stolen 3 of them from him in the last month.
He has the good brushes.
Yeah,
I heard Renee Vaca got good combs and brushes too, though.
yeah, I think so.
Have you ever stolen a joke?
From Jaime.
Oh, okay.
It actually ended up on Comedy Central, but he helped me write it. But it was his joke, and then this was before he started doing stand up. And then I was like, yo, man, I was like, I did that joke. I was like, it really worked. And I was like, can you help me keep tweaking it? And then I ended up doing it like 5 years later on Comedy Central.
And it kills.
It kills.
Yeah.
But to pay him back, I've written like a lot of his jokes.
Ralph, they don't understand like what it really like. Comedy doesn't pay your bills early on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some places where you're going for, most places for free, open mic nights. You putting a lot of time in. That's if you're really doing the circuit. You know, because now you'll see some people and they'll kind of pop, and they'll pop with Instagram or something. They kind of cut the line. And sometimes even cutting the line doesn't last long. But people don't see a lot of, you know, like people say, oh, I see him on social media. Oh, this guy is blowing up. But they don't see all the hard work that it took to get there before.
Yeah. The first, like, 5 to 10 years of anybody's comedy career is just them building, like, honing their craft.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then things take off. My buddy started doing comedy. I like, convinced him to do it. My buddy Jaime. And he's been doing it like a year. And he every now and then he'll be like, yo, I want to post a clip of this joke I did. And I'll be like, look, this is just my advice. I'm not saying it's correct. Do what you want to do. But my advice to you is your comedy is shit.
Wow.
Anybody who's doing a year into comedy, your comedy is shit. It's like, don't post a clip yet. It's like, don't do it. I was like, you're ass, bro. I was like, you're where you should be for a year in, but keep working at it. Wait another 3-4 years before you start posting clips. And he was just like, yeah, and you're going to say that. So like an hour later, we're at the Comedy Cellar in New York, and I run into Godfrey.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, I'm a big fan with her. He was like, oh, I've seen your videos, we were talking with her. And I was like, this is my buddy Jaime. I was like, oh, he just started doing comedy too. I was like, man, what do you think about this, Godfrey? I was like, he wants to post clips. But I kind of advise, and then Godfrey cuts me off. He's like, bro, don't do it. He's like, your comedy shit. He's like, I don't even know you, but don't do it. He's like, hone your craft more. Like, keep working at it before you start posting clips.
Is it different with you being Ralph Barbosa and Jaime being with you, right? And you can give him that. And he probably may think like, oh, does he open for you or he travels with you so he get a chance to see you?
Yeah.
Did you have that with anybody else?
Nah.
Yeah.
I spoiled this man.
Right? Yeah, man.
But my buddy Jaime, he's good people. And he's naturally funny. Like, sitting here with us, he'd have been the funniest dude in the room. I got to do a Bobby Lee's podcast like over a year ago already, right? I got invited onto Tiger Belly. And I grew up watching Bobby Lee. Like on Mad TV.
Yeah.
My buddy Jaime was like a big Bobby Lee fan. So I'm like, yo, come with me so you can meet him. And as soon as we walked in, Bobby Lee's like, yo, who's this dude? What's up with you, man? And he's just like, oh, I'm Jaime, whatever. They hit it off. He liked Jaime's energy, and now Jaime's like his co-host on the Tiger Belly podcast.
Oh, shit.
That's crazy, right?
Hey, man, but you know, I probably seen him then.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that is how with certain relationships too, not that he could cut the line, but he cut you like you walked him in.
He cut a lot of lines.
Hell yeah, he did. And then, but you didn't have that. And I think that with social media now, it's kind of hard to tell somebody don't post for 3 or 4 years when instantly we want to post right now.
Well, I tell him that about stand-up. Now, on the podcast, I don't know much about the podcast world. And I feel like when you're on a podcast, it's all about like your personality and stuff. Jaime's so likable. I was happy to see him do that. I remember when they texted me, the producer in Tiger Belly texted me, he's like, hey, bro, could we have Jaime's contact info? I was like, yeah. And I was with Jaime. So as soon as I sent Jaime's info, I said, hey, man, have your phone on full volume, full blast. I was like, I think they're going to call you about something important. And yeah, they called him to do it.
Why you didn't hate on him, though?
Because that's my boy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The whole reason I even brought him with me to like...
So he can stop borrowing money from you? Like, man, get your own, man, please.
Nah, the whole reason I brought him with me into every room I'd go into is because I always thought he's just so funny. And I'm like, yo, check this dude out. And then
that's dope.
I'd kind of put the pressure on Jaime. You know, I'd be like, hey, do that thing you do.
Right, like the kid dance.
Yeah.
Come on out here and entertain us. But you didn't have that for yourself.
Yeah, I didn't have it for myself. But it's like a blessing and a curse when you get to cut line. You ever seen that comedian Cam Patterson?
Nah.
Man, that dude's funny.
Can you Google him up so I can see him real quick? I've probably seen this by face.
He had only been doing comedy like a year, maybe 2 tops. I don't remember. You know, you got to do your research. But Cam Patterson has been doing comedy like a year or 2.
I've seen him.
Before he just kind of popped off and started headlining shows. very few comedians have had to rise to the occasion like that. Like Angela Johnson, she did.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like to watch comedians, have to rise to the occasion and deliver. Like that's impressive. And I'm not saying Jaime's doing as good as Katt Patterson. It's like two different things, But I respect people who get put on the spot super fast and they deliver. Like that's hard. I don't think I would have been able to do that.
We recently had Damon Wayans in the neighborhood.
I love Damon.
Yeah, man, such a good guy, bro. And just came in on fire. Papa's House, his show with his son. And that dude, they've been in the business for decades. And I did ask him, we were talking about like, jokes and people stealing. And sometimes people come up with kind of the same thing. And he gave me a breakdown when he said, man, he has unintentionally stolen a joke before. And it was from Joe Rogan.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And he said that he already had kind of the joke, but he said he added something, and he said the crowd went crazy. And then he was like, we literally got off like, was that mine? And then he was like, it was Joe. And so he said he retired it. In the business, are you starting to see more beefs in comedy because there's more people doing comedy? There's more comedians?
I think there's always been those comics that have a certain level of insecurity where they feel like everyone's out to get them. And I know we could right now probably name like 5. We won't, but easily. There's always.
Well, you name 2 and you name 3.
I could put a top 10.
We're gonna put so Mookie.
I would place Mookie out if I was doing this. Yeah.
But no, there's people out there that no matter how much success they find, they still won't be happy because they still think people are out to take something from them. It's been like that since I can remember. There's always been beefs and stuff like that. Sometimes they're big and public. But most of the time, it's like, neither one. You don't know who either one of those people are, so it doesn't mean anything. I work so much; it's hard for me to keep up with those issues, and I got to hear about it through like second and third hand, and like, man, what happened? So it's like a soap opera for me. Dime más, and then what? I'm eating popcorn, like,
Right.
Taxes, baby.
Hey, man. So what's going down? You perform. You got another domino effect that's coming?
Yeah, we have. We up to 4.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah, we up to 4. We premiered 3 on Moment.
You love success, huh?
I'm trying. I'm trying to be invested in it.
He was like, man, I ain't gonna change what's working. I'll change these jokes.
Not. What's crazy is, I just started going out for something different in the business.
What does that mean?
Like, I get this when I talk. I gotta have a lot of comedy acquaintances, and then I have my comedy friends. So when they talk, some of them say they bored in comedy.
Right.
And the people ask me, what's the state of comedy in this atmosphere?
Especially now, huh?
So, and I explain to people, that's actually not a part of comedy. What's happening now is not actually a part of the comedy conversation. Just think about it. Netflix is a joke is going on right now. Nobody's thinking about what that beef was, or what's supposedly true for us. Nobody's thinking about it. I haven't had one conversation in the industry about that. Nobody in the industry has ever asked me about that. It's all about the deal. What's the next special you got? What you working on? They're not catering to that. That's the gossip wheel and individuals that don't know, that want salacious information about a business that they are actually not privy to being in. And then when I understand how people can't think for themselves, if anything that I do without sound can possibly be interpreted as you doing the same thing.
Gotcha.
And then something that's common can be interpreted of that. So when people ask me about certain things between, did you think that this was stolen from this person? I say absolutely not, because I listen to the content. What? Did you listen to what was said versus already forming an opinion about what was already interjected into your mind?
Gotcha.
So it's like this. If you saying that somebody stole words, or you saying that somebody stole mannerism, let's see if somebody stole words. One person is saying this. Have you ever had your music up so loud that you cannot hear your raggedy car cut off? That's one person's perspective. That's why they get out, go under the hood, and look at the car, whoop, whoop, whoop. With house music, because it was on a network that could only get house music.
Right, right.
So now another person words are this. Black people can drive anything, even a spaceship. We'll drive a spaceship like a deuce and a quarter. Then starts proceeding to drive the spaceship with licensed music, more bounce than ounce. It came on. It wasn't the joke. It was just the fact that the music came on. This is two different setups, two different things, period, when you listen to the words. Now, how else, if I ask Big Boy, hey, emulate driving a vehicle.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the same thing.
It's only one way to do it.
Yeah.
So if now,
and especially if you tell me like, man, do a Cadillac or do one of them big bodies. I'm here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing the same thing.
One person mentioned a spaceship, driving a spaceship. One person mentioned a car being raggedy.
Mm-hmm.
Then if we're talking about, oh, you stole my mannerism. So Comic View came out, then Kings of Comedy came out. But if we go back, if we talking about stealing mannerism, if we talking about backing a car up is stealing, driving a car is stealing mannerism. Now we got to go forward, being a comedy historian. Let's go forward. Then that would mean that both of them stole that from Miss Laura because she was on Def Jam, and when she's in the car driving, and before she took the wig off, you know what I'm saying? She was driving. She was driving the car. She was driving the car. She was first. If we talking about stealing mannerism.
Right.
But see, I'm a person that got sense.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to believe anything bad about either person.
Right. Did you have any feeling like, was it a bad thing for you when you saw Katt Williams, or how he came and said, being at their peers and comrades, your peers, was that bad for the game?
I thought personally was this. This is not, one is not the streets. Two is not combat rap.
Right.
Three, we're not actually in competition. Four, if I'm being an adult and being a responsible adult, I'm not going to put my fans or youth in conflict thinking that this is how you handle things instead of coming to talk to you as a man. Mm-hmm. And our thing could always be handled in private because it's not like me and you have not been in the same space.
Right. Especially these worlds are smaller.
What was that energy on Def Jam 25? Mm-hmm. Everybody was there. If you want to talk, somebody talk to them there. You know what I'm saying? Or talk to them in private. And like I say, I didn't want to believe anything bad about either party, but why is it in front of everybody?
Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
Katt Williams, bro. When you saw that, because for one, I had DL on, right?
Yeah.
And DL said that everybody kind of gathered and rallied around Shannon Sharp because what happened with Skip, and it was like, no, you're not going to do that to the brother. Like, we got you. So everybody showed up for him on some, you are brother, we got you.
Yeah.
And then we fast forward and we see Katt Williams sitting down.
Yeah.
Did you have wind how much Katt was going to say, or were you just as surprised when you saw it as we were?
Yeah, I mean, I woke up the next day to the energy. Like, everybody was like, yo, you see what happened? Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, no, I wasn't even really. And I'm not like a social media dude like that. So, and, a lot of people was asking me how I felt about that, and I just, again, man, it just felt like the internet to me. Like, I literally was just not moved by it because we had this conversation before, not necessarily in person, but Katt had made that accusation earlier at some other time, right? And then we talked about that, and then I've like literally seen this brother. Now, we didn't ever talk about that issue directly, but I responded to him about the joke, and then he responded back, and that was that. Like, so it was one of these things for me, like, to bring that up, like something that's like 30 years old, and you trying to make this accusation, and you didn't see me in person, you didn't see me 45 times, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, stop that. What is that about? Like, and that, it felt like the internet to me. So, I was just like, dog, I can't argue that. Like, I'm not going to argue
especially the energy
that you saying that this is that, right? Like, that's not that. That's not that to me. To me. Like I write jokes. I do. I've been on doing this for almost 40 years. I do what I do. I get what you're saying, the similarities or whatever, but that's not the same joke, and it's not the same reason why I got to the joke.
Right, and it wasn't taken.
Yeah, and I definitely can't go to. And then for people to understand too that just because somebody did it on TV don't mean they did it first either. That's the other thing about damn jokes. Like people perform them, and then you can decide when you do it on television. You know what I mean? You don't know just because somebody did it first and they say, "Oh, you see, I did it there and you did it." They don't mean that you didn't see me do it first. So like I can't vouch for that. Nor would I want if it's not the exact same joke. Nor would I even say that's the thing. So you know what I'm saying? Like and then people try to equate that to the Abominations joke, right?
Man, that's my joke.
Abominations is a joke.
Right.
Now it is a joke, it's a performance joke. Like, you know what I'm saying? I performed the joke.
Right.
I don't know it came from.
Hey man, can you tell them Abominations real
Yeah, so Abominations is a joke. Like, and again, I used to do a whole joke about my cousin who's talk fast, right? You know, and I was like, you go down south and they go like, hey boy, if you don't look like your goddamn daddy, you look like Junior. And I had that's a whole run. Like I do this joke with the man with the cigarette in his mouth.
Man.
Boy, look at you. So then,
with the cigarette in his mouth.
so somebody in my family gave me the Abomination joke. They was like, yo, I said the boy named I said, my man came over, he was like, yeah, my name Charles Johnson. Everybody around here call me Charles Johnson. Everybody the whole time, Charles Johnson, but everybody call me Abomination. Don't even worry about it, call me Abomination. You know. I was like, all right, Abomination. He's like, yeah, everybody around here call me Abomination. You call me Abomination. I said, all right, then fine, Abomination. So all week long, I'm calling this boy Abomination. Abomination, what up, boy? Abomination, come back over later on. We gonna go to the game. Hey, Abomination, grab some beer, come on through. My cousin said, what you calling him? I said, Abomination. Everybody call him Abomination. He told me everybody around here call him Abomination. He said, no, his name's CJ. He's saying you can call me by my initials. That's what he's saying. Hey, man. I'm like, by my initials. It's a performance piece. It's literally a joke. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you don't perform it like the way I do. I set that up to tell you a joke about the thing. So, again, but you can't explain that to people.
Right,
like
man.
there's, Robin Harris did jokes. A lot of people do jokes. You know what I mean? They jokes that you perform.
Hey man, and when I just saw it, I was like, damn, this is 2024.
Yeah.
Like it just I was like, oh man, and it's crazy, but when you say it's like the internet, because I just got aware of nothing that involved me, but I just got aware of something that was floating in the atmosphere from other people that we just kind of know in the business. And I was like, man, I hadn't heard anything about that. And everybody in the room, most people in the room was like, oh yeah, this going on there. But it didn't cross my radar, so it didn't exist to me.
Yeah.
So I had no energy with it because it was internet stuff. It was like, and now I won't even go and look for it. It has nothing to do with me, but I won't even go and look for the energy.
It did set the pace though too, like literally, like I mean, and that's the only thing about like I feel about what happened with that particular thing. It's just set up this negative energy of us cannibalizing each other in this business. So more than anything, you know what I mean? We can solve issues. You can have disagreements. You can stand on what it is that you believe in. All that. I'm with 100 with all of that, right? But the fact is that when you start to do this in this business, where we start to like eat each other up on these podcasts, right? And it started the energy. Next thing you know, Monique was going at DL, and she was going at, and then everybody was going back and forth there. The Drake Kendrick thing, it got ugly. It keep getting ugly. It's one thing for it to be a battle or a statement or whatever, but everybody felt like they can go on this show now and be like, yo, this is what I think about that person.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Out loud, right? But not to the person. Not to the real solving the issue, not to being, 100 and meet me in the schoolyard, let's knuckle up with me and you. But now I'm going to just throw it out there and have millions of people jump on it and believe it's true because it's my side of the story. You know what I mean? Like if it's your side of the story, then we need to be able to do that where everybody can stand up and say their point.
But you're not even interested.
Well, you can't be because again, I can't. At this point, you threw it out there, and I can't. Either I'm gonna argue against the. Like I say, it's like walking outside when bees are migrating and they going in. You walk into a pack of bees that's like moving across the country. You like, what you gonna do? Like, you got to run and get away from it, or get because they just moving. They not thinking about you at all. They just being bees.
Right. You just got.
And that's the internet. Like they just like like I think somebody told me fuck said and everything he loved on that after the Katt interview. I was like, damn, everything I love.
Right.
They got like pancakes on Saturday. You don't fuck with pancakes,
Man, fuck your pancakes, man.
God damn, bro. Crispy chicken wings? You
Yeah,
don't fuck
man.
with crispy wings no more, because me.
Man,
Like,
yeah.
it's just a lot, dog. It was a lot to be like so one-sided, like one-sided about the whole idea, one-sided about one joke, one-sided about any of it. It's like, it's not real.
We had Damon Wayans, and you say you had a chance to check it out, and he was talking about unintentional joke stealing.
Yeah.
We know that there's joke stealing. Some people come up with the same kind of thing, man. Have you experienced any of that?
Sure.
And I would guess the answer would be yes.
Yeah. And listen, when you're young, that might bother you because you're young and you're trying to, earn your stripes. And if you feel like if you took the time to create that and put your heart and soul into that, and then somebody else comes and benefits off that, you're upset. But the older you get, man, you learn to let a lot of that go. Because you know who you are, and you know that, okay, you took that one, but you can't take everything I can do.
Right.
And you might not possess the abilities that I have. There's a lot of comedians, man, who are great comedians, but look like a deer in headlights when it's time to do crowd work because they can't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we were talking about this off air, man, where you starting to do, not starting, but we're seeing more crowd work from you.
And I got to tip my hat to the people that inspired me to do that. Two of the greatest to ever do it. D.L. Hewley and Joe Torre. But when I first started out, I was like most comics. I said, I'm going to stick to my playbook and just stay if I put it in football context, I'm going to stay in the pocket. I ain't going to leave the pocket. And you can still be an award-winning championship Hall of Fame quarterback by staying in the pocket. But if you can Michael Vick it and leave the pocket and do off the dome with the material, you twice as deadly. So when I saw, I used to watch DL and Joe, and they was beasts with it. I remember Joe, I shared this story with Guy Torre. You good when people want to hurt you.
Yeah.
Physically hurt you. And I remember Joe Torre, he was performing somewhere, and he talked about a dude's mother.
Oh, no, I know this.
Do you know this story? And the dude said, hey, man, don't talk about my mom. She dead. He said, I'll dig the bitch up, prop up, and then talk about it to a dead body.
Yeah, man.
That's what I call the nuclear button.
Yeah.
You only hit that button when you go, this person truly deserves it, and it's the only way I can shut them down.
Right.
Or, be prepared for hands.
Yeah.
I got a nuclear button where if I'm on stage, and I've had this happen, a girl is so drunk that she's out of control, and women be the worst sometimes when they get drunk. But then her man ain't doing nothing about it. And I'm like, dude, check your girl. And he not. So I'll say to him, hey, man, I don't know. You got a button?
No, say it. Say how you would say it on stage.
I said, hey, man, control your bitch, nigga. Bitch, nigga.
Right.
So that's,
what are you supposed to do with that?
That's you not only have you, in his mind, disrespected my woman. Yeah. But now you threw me on top of that.
Have you ever had to use that one?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Damn.